And around the cabin, we talk quite a bit about being self-reliant and self-sufficient. And I have had numerous people tell me, well, that's not practical, or it can't be done. It's not a good thing to push because it takes money away from everybody who's into prepping and other stuff. I've had people from other networks argue with me. I've had people who own other networks tell me, you shouldn't talk about that. You know, it's never going to happen. You can't do it. It is very hard. It is very hard to become self-reliant, self-sufficient. But if we look at it this way and become self-reliant, self-sufficient to ourselves, that we can take care of ourselves for an immediate problem, you are then self-reliant on yourself to take care of that problem. So if you're in a survival situation and you can take care of yourself, that's a good thing. That doesn't mean that you're going to have a homestead where you don't have to rely on anybody else and you can take care of yourself for forever. 99.9% of us are not going to be that way. One major reason is because we as human beings are social creatures. We're going to crave talking to somebody. We're going to crave being out there and seeing people and interacting. That is not a bad thing. Also, the fact that we as social creatures can rely on ourselves, then spread out to our family, then our extended family and neighbors, then maybe our community, our town, our city, our state, then to our government or our country. Now, being able to take care of as much as you can, as you and your family and yourself, whether you make your own electricity or grow your own food or a large portion of your food or some of your food or anything you can do to help yourself be more self-sufficient is a good thing. It keeps costs down. It also gives you a sense of accomplishment for doing that. It also could be, and usually is, more beneficial to you and your family as the fact that, let's just use food for an example. If you grow your own food, you know what's in that food. You know what food's been fed, say as in you know what kind of water, what kind of nutrients or anything else has been put into the growing food, or you know what you fed to animals that you're going to slaughter or whatever. So you know what's going on with that. You know what you've done and what you're going to be consuming. Now, there comes an interaction with other people with, okay, maybe I have a lot of chickens and something like that, and I want pork, but I don't have, pigs, so I trade with somebody in my community out there, a neighbor, a friend, another family member, whoever. Eventually we'll get to the big stuff where they will be traded. And if you think back to Native Americans where they traded, there were pieces of pottery, there were corn, there was bows. Osage orange was traded all over the United States, although it doesn't grow all over the United States. It was very coveted and traded, all over the place. There are things such as coffee and that was grown South America, brought up and traveled trade routes. There has always been traders that have passed through. So being self-sufficient is one thing, but being able to open to trade to others, is a good thing also. So I don't think self-sufficiency as in me, myself, my family are going to make and maintain everything we need for the rest of our lives. I don't think that's possible. But being self-sufficient enough that I'll know what I can do and be able to trade for the things that I want. I may not need coffee, but I may want coffee. So there's a little give and take with everything. What I'm trying to tell you is self-sufficiency and self-reliance don't just normally mean that you have to rely solely on yourself, but being able to take care of yourself to the extent where you can survive on what you have. It may not be a great survival, it may not be a great, living, but you can do it, and then being able to trade for other things makes it all worthwhile. So, instead of being an island out there and being self-sufficient, contained, and not talking with anybody else or doing anything else and living solely on your own would probably cause you to have a lot of problems. But being self-reliant and self-sufficient, that you can feed yourself, take care of yourself, maybe treat most your major medical problems, things like that, you can take care of yourself, and then being able to trade or expand out to other people. The more we can rely on ourselves and our local community, the less that the big problems will affect us. And if we get back to being able to do that as a country, take care of ourselves, I think we have a whole lot less problems overall. Self-sufficiency, self-reliance, self-sufficient education, things that we're striving for. That's what Around the Cabin is all about. We are trying to get the knowledge out there, the tools per se, not necessarily the hammers, the nails, the blacksmithing tools, the saws, the other things like that, which, up in the barter section would be great, but getting the ideas out there, getting the knowledge out there, getting the facts that we want to help you share. If you do this, this, and this, your wheat's probably going to grow. If you treat it this, that, and the other, your cows will be better off. These are the information and the things that we're trying to get out to people. We want these things to go out there, and be available for you. We want you to be able to come to Around the Cabin, share your thoughts, share your ideas, talk with other people. That's what this is all about. We want to make this a meeting place, places where people can expand their minds and their ideas and have a good time. That's what self-reliance, self-sufficiency, and this website here is all about. And thank you for your time. I hope you all have a good day.